Switch! Guess what, Switch? I'm on fall break! You know what that means! You know what that means! Yeah! I don't care. I wanted to delete this. I wanted to delete that. I wanted to delete that. What are you doing? Turn off shit. Yes. I want you to... Oh my god. Settings. I gotta go to the actual video. Darn it. Yeah, you heard that right. Gosh darn it. Rage bait. I know you love it. That's all y'all can talk about on this darn internet. Shield mode needs to be turned off. Oh, okay. Ah! Rage bait! I know you guys love it! Ah, it's been a while since I've been on Twitch. I think it was like last week. Oh shoot! I gotta watch this! Yes. Streets of Rage! Oh, 3 minutes? Oh man, 3 minutes? Dang, I'll come back. What were we doing? What were we doing again? Oh yeah. Rage bait. So I see you guys on the internet. See you guys on the internet. We'll have this rage bait going on. Please don't tell me this is tied for time. Man. Echo! Hey! I'm ready. Ready for you. To flippin', like... I understand, Echo, but like, please. It's the same thing? It's the same thing. Darn it, it's the same thing. Okay, gosh. Hold on. I gotta go to YouTube. I'll go to YouTube, see if my connection is bad or if it just... He's live in 3 seconds! Is it every game? He's playing every game. Oh gosh. He's playing every game. Oh man. Dang. And I want to play Streets of Rage 2. Hey, we'll do that later. We'll do that later. Man. The entire trilogy. I could do that. Adam Skate, I could do that. That's a possibility. It's a possibility. Dang, man. I don't know. I'm bored. I think I might crash out. But it's okay. I'm just trying to get this thing Oh, it doesn't exist. My bad. So bad. Gosh darn. Gerrar. Ah! I'll probably just do it. We're ready. Alright, we're ready. Dude. If you keep bugging me about this flippin' thing, I'm gonna crash out. Hello, everyone! Hold on, me. Flippin'. Whoa! I hear an echo. Alright, who's on? I hear an echo. Oh. Let me get this thing real quick. Game capture. Fusion. Please. Please work. Tell me y'all saw something. I'm gonna clip it, see if I saw something. I'm gonna clip it and see if y'all saw something. Come on, quick. Move. Okay. Please tell me y'all saw something and it wasn't just like the sound. I didn't see anything. Nope, it's not there. Darn it. We're moving to videos. It didn't work. Biting's... What? Pending work. What? By teams and... Bro, what is this? What is this captions, bro? Alright, but we're in video. We're gonna go to the flipping desktop cat. Wait, unless oh no. Tell me that works. I don't think that's gonna work. I think we have to do it in videos. We have to do it in videos. Yep, we have to do it in videos. Fusion. Yup, Fusion! Hey, what's up, y'all? Flippin' dolphin time! Options, config. Fine. The dolphin! Actually, I have a better idea. Let's not do it here. Let's do it in, let's do it special. Let's do it special. Y'all can still hear that? Oh shoot. No, I can still hear that, not you. Game capture, fusion. If that doesn't work, then I'll do the... Hold on. I have to do a window capture because it sucks. Echo, yep. Hello everyone. We're playing this darn dolphin game on my flippin' chat thingy. Oh gosh. Uh-oh. I don't want to play this game. As you could tell, I don't want to play this game. Can I just like, I'll enter it and it'd be bigger? Like, did that work or is it still the same? I'm gonna check. I'm gonna clip that. Please tell me it wasn't. Please tell me it was. It didn't work. It's still the same, man. It's still the same, man. Alright, I gotta make a retro thing. Give me a second. I gotta make a retro thing. Gosh darn it! Everything is just going wrong today, I guess. Give me a second to fix everything and then
Over time they erode and destroy hearts of good souls in the dark, filled with dismay. So Overtime they erode and destroy hearts of good souls in the dark. Filled with dismay, laid along and fake too much, all the way through till the crumble. Into shattered down they go. Don't let 'em do it like that. You must know that I all things that made you weak. So wake up from no sleep. Don't refuse to be free. Let go. Doubt this reason to break up is in your mind. Take my hand, join the team. Gonna let the dead leaf fall down. Hey, it's time to rise up. Egocentric, they made us believe so things were playing their favor.
Guys, I'm stupid.
Lost and broken, afraid of changing the way of life. Amidst the black you grew unstumbled.
Guys, I'm stupid. I'm stupid. Look what I could have done. We're gonna go to Maine, right? Look at how dumb I am. I'm gonna get an echo, right? Echo's not showing. Guys, look at how dumb I am. I could have just done that. I could have just done that, bro. I'm so stupid. Hello, everyone. My name is IDHugh. Welcome back to another episode of this dumb game called Echo the Dolphin. And, yes, this game is really running. I'm being so for real. This game is really running. Now, is it showing when I do this? Because if it isn't, then I'm going to crash out. I gotta go back to Google because I messed it up. Open an app. Got it. Let's go back to my channel. Oh. Let's see if it worked or not. Clip. It is showing. It's showing. It's showing. It's showing. It's showing. Hello, everyone! Even though there's nobody here and I'm just alone by myself. Welcome to Echo the Dolphin, the game where it makes you feel like you are a piece of crap because, flippin' dumb, stupid, dumb, flippin', It makes you feel like you're doing everything wrong. Wow. Oh, and I gotta alt enter out. I gotta alt enter out real quick. It makes you feel like you're doing everything wrong. Woo! Okay, yeah, I gotta hold on. Cause we gotta flippin' do the thing again. Yeah. And now options show config controllers. Yeah. I want to be 6 buttons. Up, down, left, right. A, B, C, start, X, Y, Z mode. We got that. Yeah, we got that. Okay. Hello, everyone. Rage bait time. Oh yeah, rage bait time. You know what time it is? It's rage bait. My name is IQ. We're doing some rage bait stuff with Echo because I feel like it. I need to get my number pad on. Like, can y'all? Oh, cause it's not even on. See if y'all can hear that. Audio output capture properties. That's every single thing though. I don't want it to do that. Properties, numboard. Nah, I want it to be numboard. Where's numboard? Yep, numboard. Okay. Yeah, there you go. Okay, there we go. Woo! Hello everyone, welcome to Echo the Dolphin. I'm playing this because I just found out that when that timer ends on the Echo the Dolphin website, not only are we getting a new game in the series, but we're also getting a remaster of this one and Tides of Time. So of course I'm gonna be playing this game. Of course you're gonna see me rage. Of course you're gonna see me yell. It's Echo the Dolphin. What could possibly go wrong? That's not where I wanted to go, but okay. Look at us. We're in the ocean, bro. It's happy ass to be, bro. Bro, I'm a fucking dolphin. I can swim, bro. What happened? Where'd all my friends go? I honestly do not know what to do. Can I do a flip, please, for the audience? I need a flip for the audience. How do you flip? How you do a flip? Okay. Where am I supposed to go? Oh, I'm supposed to go down here. Suddenly, great winds of water. That's crazy. We're gonna continue this. Oh. You get a bunch of hits. I know that. I know you get a bunch of hits. I'm scared, man. I don't want to. Oh, shoot. What am I supposed to. Oh, my dash. I haven't played this game in a minute. Shoot. I'm gonna actually look up how you do a flip, cause I heard you can do a flip in this game. How do I do a flip? Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay. I see what I have to do now to make him do a flip. I see what I have to do. Wait. That's the left. Wait, where am I? Wait. Let me see. Wait, what? Oh, I did it! I did a flip! I did a flip! Y'all saw that! I did a flip! Oh, I did a flip! I love that. Because dolphins can't flip. Flip! You know what? Flip you! You know what? You know what? Flip you! Yeah, it's not really that funny. It's not that funny. Okay. It's not that funny. Alright, next. I don't really like this music, to be completely honest. It's alright. It's fine. It's not that big of a deal. It's 1991. What do you expect? It's not like you're gonna get a it's not like you're gonna get a banger on like the first try. Okay, where am I supposed to go? No, I'm not. Whoa. Hey, it's a friend. Hey, you, come here. I want to speak to you. I am sad for you. I know not of your pod. Oh shoot. Hold on. That's crazy.
erode and destroy hearts of good souls in the dark, filled with dismay, laid along and fake too much, all the way through till the crumble. Into shattered down they go. Don't let 'em do it like that. You must know that I all things that make you weak. So make up more than destroy hearts of good souls in the dark. Filled with dismay, laid along and fake too much, all the way through till the crumble. Into shattered down they go. Don't let 'em do it like that. You must stronger out all this that made you weak. So wake up from long sleep. Don't refuse to be free. Let go. Toughest reason to break out is in your mind. Take my hand, join the team. Gonna let the dead leaf fall down. Hey, it's time to rise up. Egocentric, they made us believe so things will play their flavors. Lost and broken, afraid of changing the way of life. In midst of blood, you once stumbled to their knees and down they go. Don't let 'em do it like that. You must stronger out all this that made you weak. So wake up from long sleep. Don't refuse to be free. Let go. Toughest reason to break out is in your mind. Take my hand, join the team. Gonna let the dead leaves fall down. Hey, it's time to rise up. Waiting around you need to stand up for yourself. You must take on top with their lies. Remember that we got through. You are stronger than all this.
Yeah. Oh. This is where I'm supposed to find the gem, right? I hope. Gosh darn it. Where's this darn gem? It's not there. Rage bait! On the left? Maybe it's on the left or something. Aha! I found it. Oh, that's the guy that helps. That's the guy that helps the whale. The whale that helps you. You gotta go. Ooh. That's a dead end. Let's go. Level 1 done. Under caves. Alright. Under caves. Let's go. Yes. Okay, let's go. Move. I'm a dolphin, swimming free. Move. Finally, some air. Okay, let's go. You may not are you serious? After all that, I still don't know where the key is. Am I supposed to go back? to do. Don't tell me it's all the way up here and I missed it. It's not that one. I'm gonna lose hair. I gotta go. No! Move! 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 I'm about to die! Move! 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 My God! Move! Thank you. This is where the rage bait comes in. I can't pass yet. Wait. No. I died. I'm done. Nope. I'm about to crash out. You see, the title of this is rage bait. Okay, and rage bait is exactly what goes on. I think in this one you just have to. This is fine. Please tell me if I touch this. I can't touch it though, that's the thing. Thing is, I can't touch it though, that's the thing. No! Don't tell me it's right there. Are you serious? Ah! No. You go right there. I know exactly how to deal with you. Dash. Got 2 of them out. Now you're safe. Go ahead. If I do this, okay. Then I keep going back. I go back. Oh shoot. So if I go this way, you're telling me that there's a key right there, and I'm about to crash out. If I go here, there's a key, I'm gonna crash out. You understand me, right? I'm gonna crash out. I forgot that there was a key there. See, that's how you get you. This is Mario Maker type. Mario Maker expert level. All just a Mario Maker expert level. Give me some air. Let's go. Let me go. Thank you. What now? If I die, I have to redo the entire thing. I just realized that. Okay, so I now know what to do. Echo, chill. Echo, chill. You're not like that. You're not like that. Chill. Oh my God! I have to redo the whole thing. No, there's no way. I have to redo the whole thing. Are you serious? I have to redo the whole thing. Are you serious? I'm done. No. I have to redo the whole thing now. This is a speed run. I'm about to move! Be out. Bro, don't you dare tell me that I literally just went all the way over there just to get locked out again. No, just kill me. Nope, just kill me. Yep. We gonna redo this thing. We're gonna do it. Let's go. I went the wrong way. The fact is, they put this game in there and there's no lives, but you always die. That's the crazy part. couldn't do my dash. I can't. Oh my god! Crash out because woo, my controller about to break. Not really. I'm just pissed. Hold on. The same thing's happening again. Watch this. I'm gonna fall. Alright, so I'm gonna predict this. I'm gonna fall, and then I'm just gonna rage quit and die. Watch. Oh, I did it. Yeah. Alright, let's go. Boom. Boom. Let's go. I need to go get this darn shell. Do not... Now that that's open. Stop! I have a full health. Move! Echo, no! Just keep going. Bro, just keep going. Echo! Echo! Chill out! Go! Oh my god! Okay, we made it, 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 we made it. Go, 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 go. We need air! We need air! Shoot! No! can't keep doing this, bro. I can't keep doing this. I can't keep doing this. I cannot keep doing this. Oh! I can't keep doing this. I can't keep doing this. I can't keep doing this. Oh! I can't keep doing this. I can't keep doing this. I'ma crash out. I'ma crash out, bro. Ah! 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 Hold on, I gotta play this out. I gotta play this out. Ah! Hold on, I gotta play this out. Hold on, I gotta do it. Ah, I'm mad. Oh, I'm pissed. 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 Ah! Where is it? 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 DBZ, please. Yes. No. Okay. 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 You cut. Paste. Ah! 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 Echo! 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 I'ma crash out on you, bro! I'ma crash out on you, bro! I'ma crash out, bro! I'ma crash out, bro! Ah! Ah! I'ma crash out! I'm tweaking out! Ah! It's fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm not gonna tweak out. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. Yeah. Ah! I'm tweaking out, bro. I'm tweaking out, bro. I'm tweaking out. Oh gosh. Maybe. Ah! Ah! Echo! Oh, you might make me crash out. Echo the damn dolphin! Ah! Ah! That's fine. It's not. It's fine. It's fine. I gotta. Yes. Twitch. Ah. Woo! I'm about to crash out. I gotta do the thing. I gotta do the thing. Ha 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 ha. Okay, it's on downloads. It's in downloads. Okay, good. Go all the way down. All the way down. DBZ. Yep, here it is. Yep. Come on. Yeah. 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 Yeah, you saw that, right? You saw that, right? Yeah, y'all saw that, right? Yeah. What did I do? Y'all saw that, right? Y'all saw that, right? Ah! Alright, I need to stop crashing out. I need to lock in. I need to lock in. Okay, hold on. I need to lock in. We out. No, we out. This ain't golden. Okay, bro, chill out. There ain't no way, bro. There ain't no way. No, we crashing out. Nope. 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 Nah. Not today. You're not doing this to me today. Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh. Not today. Not today. Nuh-uh. Nope. Nope. We're not doing that today. No. Man. Dolphins are the best animals. But they're such a... You gotta be kidding me. You know what? Yeah, end it. Yep. We gotta go. Because I feel like Echo is a speedrunning game. Okay, we got it. Let's go. Go down. Move! Can you dash? Can you dash, Echo? Okay, at least I ate. That's good. Nom. At least I ate though. At least I ate. This dumb shell. At least I know what to do. Oh. Yeah, at least I. Hey. At least I know what to do though. Huh? Dude, you're making me lose health. Stop. Okay, all I needed was. But move. We gotta go. Stop! He's hitting me! Move! He's hitting me! We gotta go! He's hitting me! We gotta go! Move! Okay. Okay. Move. Okay, that's a good sign. The air is near. We know what to do next. We know what to do next. We gotta swim past this octopus, okay? Okay, Echo? So we gotta lock in. Small movements, Echo. Good movements. Good job. Move! Don't you dare! If I die, do not! Do not! If you do this! Come on. Alright, we gotta go. Come on. Okay. Just because we only have like one air bubble left, we cannot rush. We gotta lock it. Go! We made it! Okay, we made that! Okay, I know we saw it. We did that! Okay, we did that. Okay, we did that. That's another one we can't go through. I think we need to go to the right. We gotta move. No! I'm about to die. No! I gotta redo everything, bro. What do I have to do? My goodness. Gosh. Dude, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to quit. Man. Yeah, man. Close call. That was a very close.
Okay, we made that. Okay. Go. We made it. Okay, we made that. Okay, I know we saw we did that.
I am not gonna clip that. Nah, I'm not gonna clip that. I wish I did though, but I'm not. Alright, let's continue this. Actually, no, let's not continue this. You know what? Let's do it. Let's do what we came here for. Let's do what we came here for, guys. Let's do what we came here for. Game capture. You know exactly why I'm here. You guys know exactly why I'm here. You guys know exactly why I'm here. You guys know exactly why I'm here. We gotta redo it because I messed it up. So we gotta redo it. Nope. F4. Wait, is there no sound on Deltarune right now? Please don't tell me. Oh, okay, there is sound. There is sound. There is sound. As you can see, I already. Oh, hold on. I'm gonna do it. Hold on. No. As you can see, I already have stars. The reason why is because okay. How am I supposed to explain this? So on YouTube, before the YouTube ban, where I was not able to, me and other content creators who are not allowed to stream if they are under 16 years old, I was trying to do a Deltarune playthrough, right? But I got into some trouble and I was not able to finish it. So you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do the beginning, go all the way down to the prophecy. Let's start right now. Can y'all see this? Deltarune! We're in Deltarune! Flippin' Deltarune! You see this? You see this? You see this? You see this? We have IHU, me, my personal save. We have YouTube chat. No. I want y'all to see this. YouTube chat. We have the card castle. We beat that. Let's see if y'all can get a better time. Let's go. Let's see if y'all can get a better time. Let's see if y'all can get a better time. Let's see if y'all get a better time. Are you there? I'm actually gonna let the server join. I'm gonna let the server join. Hold on. Hold on. Go ahead. Let's go. Yo! First, you must create a vessel. Yeah, we know. You know what? Since I don't like Twitch that much, we gonna make y'all bald. We gonna do the first options. We're gonna do the first options. The legs, yes, this is your Baldi. We're gonna name him Baldi, bro. We're gonna name him Baldi. Excellent. You have created a wonderful form. Preach. I like salty. Y'all like salty food. AB. It likes blue. It likes blue. It doesn't like green. We need to give y'all kindness, because that's what y'all need to be showing instead of spamming every single thing! Dang, bro. I feel hope. Yes, I've answered honestly. You acknowledge the possibility of pain and seizure. Yeah. I couldn't care less, bro. Understood. His name is Twitch. Oh, that's it? Oh. TWCH? Oh, TW chat. Okay, that works. We called it Twitch chat. And what about the creator? You know, my name is Adhue. I think I have to do the flipping thing again. I think I might have to do... Let's go. My own name. Y'all know what my name is. Y'all know what my name is. My name. No, my name ain't that. My name is Twitch. Yeah, Twitch. Yeah. Yeah, my name's Twitch, and that's my Twitch chat. My name is Twitch, and that's my Twitch chat. My name is Twitch, and that is my Twitch chat. That is, yeah! That is, yeah! I'm clipping that. My name is Twitch! My name is Twitch. Oh god. Your name is Chris! My name is Twitch, and that is my Twitch chat! Wait, is he on 2 or is he still on 1? They'd be on 1 right now. They're on 2! They're on Streets of Rage 2! I want to play Streets of Rage 2. I want to play Streets of Rage now. Man, I would collab with somebody right now. Waka's live! Waka's live! Waka! Oh my god! Bro, I didn't think I was gonna catch you, bro. Alright, enough of that. Enough of that. We gotta... Num num nah. Num num nah. Like, bro, what? Alright, I need to lock in. Chris! If you do not wake up, we're gonna be late for school! This is my mother, by the way. I will wait outside for you. I gotta put some music on, bro. Alright, enough. What is that? Oh, that's my victory. Okay. Nope. Oh, I can't let y'all hear that. Chris, there you are. We might be able to still make. Oh! Chris, it's a beautiful day today, is it not? I hope it stays this way when Azriel visits next week. But I wonder, after the excitement of university, I'm leaving, I ain't coming back, will he still enjoy coming home to this little town? I don't know, man. If I was Azriel, I'd come back. I would come back. If I was Azriel, I would come back. Man. Alright, let's go. I'm not even moving. I'm not even touching my controller. Wait, my controller. That's what I was supposed to do. Oh my gosh. Wait, is this the controller? No, that's the... This is the controller. Yeah, that's the controller. I'm gonna laugh. Oh, Chris, we thought you weren't coming today. We're doing group projects this month. So walk around and find a partner. Welcome to school. It's not like my school, where everybody hates me, and I'm a flipping loser, which I'm not. I'm not just, like, venting on stream. Y'all didn't hear any of that. No, yeah, I want to hear everyone's opinions about me. Click, clap, tap, tap, taken. Chris, you know Jockington and Caddy are always partners. We're the ultimate academic duo ever since our first gym class. It was hula hoop day, and they ran out of hoops for us. So she used me instead. That's our origin story. I'm gonna turn this thing off. I'm gonna turn this Twitch stream off. Nope, we out. We out. We out. Nope. Nope. We out. We out. We out. Hey man, I was joking. Chill. I was joking. Wait, what? What? No. Turn that off. I want people to chat. Followers only chat. I want it to be like 0 minutes. 3 minutes. Yay! Alright. You're weird, bruh. Partner, I hardly know her. Oh, that's the jokester. That's the jokester. Partner, I hardly know her. Haha, what do you think of that one? Funny, right? I mean, kids got jokes. No, well, I got news for you, pal. I already got a partner. Scram! Yo, Chris, show up earlier next time. Ended up having to partner with Snowy, huh? Now he keeps turning to me and saying, howdy, partner, like a cowboy. Oh, that's Monster Kid. Oh, dang, he got a mohawk? Oh, dang, okay. Chris, oh, very sorry. Tell me he has a partner. Oh. Wow. Everyone just hates me. Yes! I do not approve of this. Susie, the best character! The best character! The best character! No, hands down, the best character! Hands down. I want... No. Let me rant real quick. The best character in the game! Hands down! Nobody can top this girl. Hands down. Hands down. Hands down. She has an axe. She looks like Bowser. She is a bad... She is a bad ass. And she ain't chopped! She is the GOAT. Susie is literally the GOAT of the entire game. I can't lie. I can't lie. Like, literally the GOAT in the entire game. Has the best story arc. Brother, if Deltarune was in Susie's perspective, that I give that 10 out of 10. Am I late? Oh, no, you're fine. We were just choosing partners for the next group project, and Susie, you're with Chris. Great.
Now that everyone's here, I'll write the assignment. Has anyone seen the chalk?
This is the third time it's gone missing, and you all know I can't start class without some. If no one speaks up, everyone gets in trouble. Anyone, please? There might be a blocks. I was about to say blocked like Roblox. I hate you. Man. Know what sucks? Having the... Miss Office, wow, Susie and I. Chris, can you go over and make sure she actually gets it and stays in trouble? Yeah, I'm a goat, bro. I don't... Oh, we can chop. Oh, we can be chopped. Oh, we can be chopped. Okay, hold on. Oh yeah, we chopped. We chopped. You see me? We chopped. Yeah, we chopped. Yeah, flip y'all. I believe in chopped. Susie behavior. I'm about to start eating chalk. Chris, didn't see you there. Hey, you didn't see anything just now, did you? You can't even say. Chris. Hey. Let me tell you a secret.
Oh, hell no!
Damn. Quiet people piss me off. This is cinema! You think just because you don't say anything, I can tell exactly what you're thinking. It's over! I caught Susie eating all the chalk. This was her last chance. Now she'll finally be expelled. Come on, Chris. Don't act shocked. You know it's true. Everyone's waiting for it. Everybody wants it. So, congrats, Chris. You got me. I'm done for. Just let me say one little thing. Seems like a waste to getting expelled just for having a snack. So, Chris, if I know you're gonna pull the trigger, why don't I just get expelled for some real carnage? Chris, how do you feel about losing your face? Peak cinema! Peak cinema! This is peak cinema! Oh my god. Nah. Chris, you got a good mother. It'd be a shame to make me bury her child. Alright, let's get this over with. We'll get more chalk, mosey back to class, and then, Chris, you'll do our project. Don't bother answering if you haven't gotten it by now. Your choices don't matter. Let's go, freak. Wait. God, can you walk any slower? What? I think it's because my buttons, they're mapped to flipping go slow. They were just starting to have fun. Uh-oh. 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 Hey, Chris, is it me or is it really dark in there? Oh yeah, it is really dark in here. I think you should go in there. Nah, I'm a wuss. Fine, if you're gonna be a wimp, then I'll... We'll both go in at the same time. See? Why are you so scared? There's nothing in here but old papers. Let's try to find a light switch. That's weird, I can't find a switch. Guess it's further in. Kinda big for a closet, huh? You think we reached the end by now, huh? Hey Chris, I think this closet's broken. There aren't any walls. Well, we were talking enough. If Alpha doesn't want to talk so bad, she can get it herself. Let's split. Uh-oh. What the? Oh. This isn't funny. Let us out! Let us! The floor! It's... Gotcha. Gotcha. No! I missed the picture, it's fine. Oh my gosh. Oh my lordy lord. Today, everybody, we're playing a game called Deltarune, and in this game, we're trapped in somebody's closet. Let's go. we're trapped in somebody's closet! Yay! I'm scared. At times, you see it flickering, a light only you can see. By second nature, you reach out and... Alright, way to go. You know what? I'm a... My keyboard. Nope, I'm using my keyboard. I cannot keep walking chopped. auto run. Okay, now I'm gonna use my controller because I was being chopped. I was being chopped cheese. I was being chopped cheese. Alright, let's go. I was. See what we can find down here. There's something glowing inside. Take it. You got the glow shard. What does the glow shard do? Its use is unknown. You bathe your body in the light. A power shines within you, breaking through the darkness. Any pain you might have had melted away. HP fully restored. Hey! Back up! Chris, phew. Hey, don't scare me like that, dumbass. Y'all don't hear me curse, bro. Y'all don't hear me curse. Unless you want to get clocked in the face. Anyways, enough screwing around. We gotta find a way out of here. Where is here, anyways? Doesn't matter. You got us into this mess, you'll get us out. Lead the way, Chris. Oh my god, never mind. You walk away too slow. Hey, Chris, there's someone up there waving at us. Any idea what they want? Run, Chris! Woo! 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 Oh god! I almost took some damage. You know that ain't happening. Not to me. Oh, I took damage! Nope, I took damage. Chris, down here! Hey, oh! I still 6, 7! I hate my life. I hate everything, bro. Bro, look at my health. 6, 7! No, I'm gonna do it. Hold on. I gotta play the song. Now I have to play the song because it's literally there. Now I have to play the song. I'm just mad now. Properties. Flipping. Where is it? Spotify. Yeah, Spotify. Alright, now I gotta do it because 6, 7. 6, 7.
They cause he a savage. So many dead, so many ashes. You ain't catch that. I can't pass that. Shooter stay strapped. I don't
Y'all,
mind. Bro,
look how much health I have.
Way that switch, I know he dying.
6, 7! Alright, shut up. Let's go. I didn't want to do that. Okay, shut up. Let's go. I don't want that. Nope. Let's go. I'm at 6, 7 health. Alright, let's go. Oh, you're not dead. Sweet. Got any idea what the heck this place is? Me neither. Wonder if there's anyone in that building up there. Hey, can you? In front of you, a castle looms beneath the empty town. A black geyser emerges from it, piercing endlessly into the sky. The power of this place shines within you. Alright, Twitch, you moving up. A castle? Why the hell is there a castle in here? Who's there? Do not be alarmed. I am not your enemy. Please, come forward. Both of you. Welcome. I am the prince of this kingdom. If you do not know who the prince is, get out by chat. The kingdom of darkness. Scarce. Susie, there's a legend in the land. A legend that only one day 2 heroes of light will arrive. Fulfill the ancient prophecy foretold by time and space. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I'll listen to your tale. Once upon a time, a legend was whispered among shadows. It was a legend of hope. It was a legend of dreams. It was a legend of light and dark. This is the legend of Deltarune. For millennia, light and dark have lived in balance, bringing peace to the world. But if this harmony were to shatter, a terrible calamity would occur. The sky will run black with terror, and the land will crack with fear. Then, her heart pounding, the earth will draw her final breath. Only then, shining with hope, 3 heroes appear at world's edge. A human, a monster, and a prince from the dark with lots of magic. Only they can seal the fountains and banish the wait, whoa. The angels' heaven. Only then will balance be restored and the world saved from destruction and chaos. Today, the fountain of darkness, the geyser that gives this land form, stands tall at the center of the kingdom. But recently, another fountain has appeared on the horizon. Y'all didn't know I could sing! Y'all didn't know I could sing! Y'all didn't know! Hold on. Y'all didn't know I could sing! Y'all didn't know I could sing! Y'all did not know I could sing! Chris, Susie, thank you for listening to my long song. I deeply believe you two are the heroes of the legend. That despite whatever enemies you may face, you two have the courage to save the world. Delta Warriors, please, won't you accept your destiny? Nah. What? Me? Some kind of hero or something? You got the wrong person. But, so what if the world gets destroyed? It's none of my damn business. Tell him, Susie! Might even be kind of fun, honestly. Anyways, Chris, if you want to pretend with this weirdo, stick around. I'm gonna find a way out of here. Susie, wait! The second best character in the game! My dad's gonna make me son of the month! Who the hell are you? I'm the bad guy! You clowns want to steal our dark fountain, huh? And still picturing you guys as clowns. Save the world from eternal darkness, huh? Don't try to deny it. We both know you'll go east. It's your only way home. But I, Lantern, will let you go there. I'll flawless 2-point stand. Step 1, I thrash you. Step 2, you lose. That's a good plan. Yeah, actually, mind if we use it on you instead? We're pacifists here. Don't know how you got an axe, but that's, like, cool. Ow. I'm gonna make Susie. Oh, no. Let's see if we can get 6, 7. I'm about to crash out, bro. Oh man, that's 77. Sideways? Ah, that's funny. Wait a second. My bike's running out of fuel. Alright, you punkaroos, you have the luck of the draw this time, but next time the losers will be you! Ha! Bye, losers. I gotta get home before dinner. Are you two okay? Allow me to properly introduce. Can you take off that hood? I can barely hear under there. The third best character in the series! The third best character in the series! The third best character in the series! Ah! The third best character. Third best character. Third best character. It's Susie, Lancer, then flippin', oh gosh. Six. Yeah! 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 I'm ruining that Delta room, bro. So what we gonna do? Yeah, got it. See you at school, Chris. Oh. Chris, I'm a prince, but I currently don't have any subjects. I've been waiting alone here my whole life for you two to arrive, so I'm really happy to meet you. Hope we can be good friends, Chris. Let's try to find Susie. She must be heading southeast. You can lead the way, Chris. Oh, Chris, it's the training dummy I made. Now he's like... Yeah, sure. That's your soul. Okay. You're a natural. Anyways. Yeah, I don't really know how to fight. Oh man. Oh man. Oh gosh. I think I might crash out. Guys, I think I might crash out. I think I might crash out, guys. Oh no, man. I should take a break and play Smash, though. That is a good idea. You know what? That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take a break. Well, a little tiny break. It's after I get to flippin', thing. I can handle it. Crazy. Alright, we're gonna take a break. We're gonna take a break. We're gonna take a break. We're gonna play Smash. We're gonna play Smash. We're playing Smash. We're playing a little bit of Smash. A little bit, not a lot. We're doing a little bit of Smash. Cause this is also rage bait, remember? This is also rage bait. Remember? Let me put it on OBS, cause I'm gonna forget. Yep, we back. We here. Hey, 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 hey. Listen, listen. Hey, hey. Hey, 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 hold on, hold on. Hey, 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 hey. Oh, he's streaming on metal? Oh, he's on metal? Oh, he's gonna clip me on metal? He's gonna clip me on metal? That's crazy. He's gonna clip me on metal. He's gonna clip me on metal. Oh god, the lag is insane! The lag is insane. I'm getting disconnected. I'm getting disconnected. The lag is insane. I'm getting disconnected. Yep, I got disconnected. I'm gonna practice real quick. I'm gonna practice, like practice some combos and stuff. This doesn't count because the match lagged and then we got disconnected. Shoot. Alright, I got disconnected. Alright, let's go. Please don't be. It's laggy. It's lagging. What is going on? And this game is laggy. Man, this game is laggy. Man, this game is laggy. Man, this game is laggy. Crazy. Crazy. So why? What? It's not. I know it's not me, cause. There we go. That's better. Okay, I know who's who. Yeah, I'm getting my butt kicked. I'm gonna get clipped. Yeah, I'm getting clipped, man. Yeah, I'm getting clipped, man. Like, it's over. I'm getting clipped. Nope, I'm getting clipped. Dang, I'm getting clipped! Dang! I'm getting clipped! Nope, it's over. I'm getting clipped. 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 At this point, I'm just not even trying. I'm getting clipped. Like, it's over. Yeah, I'm trash. Ah! Yep, I hate that. Yep, I just got clipped. I want it out. Nope. 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 Oh god. Oh god. Getting my butt kicked! Nah! I hate this game. I gotta get off this game, bro. I gotta get off this game, bro. Yep, I'm off. At least I got that extra jump back. Nope. Nope. Nope, I ain't winning. That's why I hate Smash. I just can't. All of my wins were just luck based. Yeah, see, I'm getting my butt cooked. Yep, he juked me. Yep, I got juked. Nope. 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 I got juked. Nope. I gotta play as Pikachu. I got juked. Nope. I juked. I got juked. I got juked. I got juked. I got juked. Nope. Oh, that's him. That's him. That's him. Oh, wait. Hold on. Wait, what is my... There we go. Oh, wait, no. Damn it! I didn't say nothing. Come on, man. There we go. Oh, shoot! I was trying to... Yeah! I missed that. Oh, shoot. Ah! I wasn't gonna survive that anyways. Yeah, I really need to implement wave dashes and stuff like that. I need to get back to Deltarune. Yep, that's out. Wait. Hold on. I'm trying to see something. Whoa! Oh! Uh-oh. Lag! Lag! I think I know why. Okay, stream's not off, number one. Number two. Okay. I think I'm gonna get back to Deltarune. Because that's what I'm here for. I didn't come here for Smash, I came here for Deltarune. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to play Deltarune. They better still be there. Yeah, my computer is lagging like crazy. Hold on, I'm gonna flippin' change it to Deltarune. Yeah, there you go. Wait, no, I don't want to play Deltarune. Wait. Oh, man. I'm not trying to play that though. That's the thing. Gosh darn it. I wasn't trying to play that chapter select. I'm supposed to be playing chapter 1. Yes. Is Twitch there? If Twitch is not there, I'm crashing out. If it's not there, I'm gonna crash out. Because today is also crashing out day. First this flipping dumb dolphin. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell y'all. Thank you for thank you for 240 subs. I appreciate it. And y'all are looking at these videos. Golly. Y'all are looking and looking. Y'all are looking! My gosh. Guys are looking at those videos. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you! That's 241! That's flipping 241. Let's freaking go. Flipping! Yes! We got Twitch! Let's go! Alright, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Alright, let's fight you then. Hey! 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 Oh man. That sucks. Yeah. Is that a threat? An invitation? Hey! 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 Oh yeah, I forgot. This is chapter 1, not chapter 2. Alright, let's go. Yay! Let's continue. Susie. Let's freaking go. Yep, let's try to keep her out of any more trouble. Yeah, let's do that. But first, yeah, I'll take a piece. Nope. Ah, man. Hey! 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 We can't do nothing about it. Excuse me. Oh god, I'm not feeling well. Golly. Yo, yo. Let's go. Yep, I'm taking one. Yep. Yo, we did it. It's some sort of enemy. It looks like they got clobbered. White ribbon. We're gonna need that. Hey, 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 hey. Okay. There's no attack. Let's go. You lost. You don't get me. No! Oh, he's mad. He's pissed. I feel like that's the one and only time Ralsei is pissed. I think. Open up the stupid door. Oh great, it's you guys. Walk through them, but this door sucks. Let's just get this over with. Oh, never mind. Yo! Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, you talk to her. Yeah, we're gonna have to warn people about her. How much does the glow shirt sell for? Let's keep going. Ho ho ho? Why is it really saying that? Ho ho ho, it's maybe a laugh scary, right? You sound like baby Santa Claus. You mean like in a badass way? Shut up! You really think you know how to be scary? Well, Wrong! Man, you want to be tough guys, like you really pissed me off. Face it, you wouldn't know scary. If I picked you up and bit your face off. That's not true, really. Oh shit. Then why don't we prove it? We'll start with the part where your face gets bits off. Oh, okay, I get it. Thank you. What? Thank you. It's kind of to teach me to be scared. Hey, I wasn't now. I'm gonna be thrashed. Merry Christmas. This is kind of an improvement. Woo! Alright, let's go. Yo, we did it. Oh no. Hold on, I gotta remember this. I have to remember this. Okay. Got it. Broken key C. You know how we're gonna use this. A, 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 A. Smells like a soft kiss. Crazy word. I don't really want to fight right now. Oh, but the Riz! This song just hits. Wait, I didn't mean to hit her! Oh my god! My bad. Let's go. When you step into the light, you return to where you were before. Ah! Stop! Pacify. Yay! Let's go, we won. So you begin to cross the Great Wall, halfway point to our castle. Impressive. So it's a shame you won't make it a step further because my guys are about to splash you with blood. Lots of blood. Explosions are very gross and bad. Why are you asking me? Because you're really cool at being terrified. I want to be as scary as you. You want to be like me? Yeah, that's stupid. But a real apple is on. So you chose for lettuce. It doesn't look bloody. Yeah, I'm not supposed to be the best. Anyways, thanks for the feedback. I'm really feeling scary. Oh, yeah. I was so excited I forgot to bring you guys. But next time I'll be in for... Hey, I bet just call you guys clowns. Did you see my official name or something? fun game. I love Lancer. Let's go! 52! Let's go! Hey, we made it! Ah! Hey, hey, hey! Uh-oh. Please don't wake up, Susie. Yay! Let's go. Well, their horsey pondmen are scary, but all they're doing is following the king. Us on the board used to have our own boss. Those were in peaceful times. But now even the boss has been reduced to the king's peon. Fear not, we, unlike the simple pondmen, possess full faculty over our actions. I, Mr. Society, am far too intelligent to ever bow down to such a tyrant. Unless he asks me, he's very scary, you see? Yeah. Uh-oh. It's the Seawolf. Normally. It crushes people to death, I think. Hey. Hey, 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 hey. Okay. Okay, Michael Jackson. Okay. Oh. You know, Moonwalker vibes. Almond milk is crazy. Hey. Yo! We did it. We did it. Wow, you cons, we are heroes. You saved the next 20 minutes of my life. Susan, you have to downplay your contributions, but you didn't actually help at all. You didn't actually help at all. You only made everything worse by attacking it. If you had just acted nice to it in the first place, we could have avoided that entire battle. Huh? Are you for real? That thing was bloodthirsty. The only thing keeping me at bay was my ass. Oh no! Excuse me, my glorious. And earlier you terrorized his troops. Those guys were enemies. They were for terrorists. Yeah, she's right. And before they implement this cakes are also my enemies. Susie, whether you like it or not, you're a woman with power to make peace in the future. Could you please start acting like one? Yeah, when you lay it out like that. I've been a pretty bad hero, haven't I? Alright, Rossi. You got it. I'll change my ways. From now I won't be such a rotten hero anymore. I'll just be one of the bad guys instead! Yeah, sounds way easier, honestly. Yeah, toothpaste boy. Oh yeah, anyway, see you guys never. You can last that long. Chris, perhaps I shouldn't have been so hard on her. But I just worry that if Susie was too eager to fight, then Well, let's just be kind to her, okay, Chris? I'm sure Susie will come around soon. Let's go. Let's go. Nice! We are in the forest. Oh, Susie, Lancer. Yeah. The Dark Fun Gang. So what you have a plan? Dude, we just formed a team. We haven't done anything past our intro yet. Have a little patience, please. Oh, I'm sorry. Looking forward to the rest. And watch your backs and your fronts. You hear that, everyone? Watch your backs and your fronts. God! Bro, every time y'all always jump scare me. I think those are the dust particles. Ragger. That's crazy. They got a mustache over there. He like this? Yeah, that's perfect. How's this going on? Hey, don't look. Spoilers, dude. The sweet little peas we love to see. Hey, watch your language. Oh, sorry. Susie's trying to get me to swear more. Hey, thanks for doing the puzzle for us, losers. We, need this. Black. Is that the default option? That's the default option. Hey, I got it. I'm gonna fight this guy. Hey, come here. Hey, watch this. I'm about to beat. Hey, watch this. I'm about to spare you. First try. Head. Hey. Head. Body. Legs. Let's go, and you spared. Let's go. Dice brace. Let's go. Arcade came by. What a hunk. He vandalized the puzzles to stop the lightnings, but we know the answers. Of course we'll tell you. Heart. Oh yeah! They were all different colors. None of them are clubs. But we got it first try. Let's go. Hey, it's my birthday today. You need to even say hello. That's fine, actually. Stop and say hi, folks. Start the videos deserve us. I mean, talk about boys, bro. Oh no. Oh no. What kind of boys do you like? Cute ones, nice ones, like I am. No, I mean all. Oh. We know what to do. We gotta take to him. Top cake. We gotta save this. Yep, I'm buying it. Alright, let's go. We know exactly what we need to do. No! It's okay. Hey, someone's here. Yo, what's up? Oh shoot, I do. Hold on, I gotta put the thing on because nobody was here until now. Hold on, I'm putting the thing on. I'm putting the thing on. Where is he at now? Please be on 4. Oh, he's on 3. Who are they playing as? Rue! Oh, I love Rue. I love Rue. Type something in chat. Just type something. Oh, you know I'll do it. Okay, yeah, it works. Yeah, it works. Oh, I messed it up. Darn it. All right, let me. Yeah, there we go. I'm gonna rearrange this one. spare that same. Head, body, legs. Let's go! Ooh, I've never seen this one before. I've never seen this attack before. Wait. Head, body, legs. Yo! I got it! Let's go! Oh shoot. Aha! Ah! 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 Broken key B. Woo! Woo! How's everyone doing today? Revivement. Yep, we needed that. Oh, whoa, woe's me. Rows of woes and woes and anyone would kill. Dude. Oh, I'm not Lance. I'm just a sweet little boy. Why does a sweet little boy have a mustache as a disguise? So what kind of help do you need, this little plant? Impress his cool friend Susie. Create a machine to thrash your own ass. This is crazy. Which was just made up right now. Ha! Tricked you idiots. Never do something else someone could do for you. Hey, it's even kind of high class looking. Anyways, great job, Lance. Always sitting ducks. Thrash you later. I gotta redo it because I messed it up. These birds are pissing me off. I'm the original Star Walker. Yo. Do we have to? Hard to see. There was a switch in the tree. Let's go. Thumbnail! 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 We got a thumbnail. Thumbnail for the YouTube vid. There we go. Wear yourselves in the forest maze. The Star Original Ore Walker. The original Ore Walker is crazy. Man, dog. Hey, losers. Wait, where's Lancer? Come on, wander off by himself? You know he's bad at mazes, right? He's probably lost and confused right now. Let's go! Chris, isn't? You can beat me. I'll go back to being a good guy. If you lose, you guys will have to become bad guys with us and do whatever we say. Hey, don't bother answering. We were gonna thrash you anyway, so see ya. That was close. Go back to sleep. Ow. Bro, we were one more. Oh man, it doesn't really matter. That meme sucks. What's wrong, dude? I accidentally started liking the enemies. Now seeing them just makes me feel round and soft. Bad atmosphere in battle though. Yeah. Oh my god, bro. Y'all don't want to miss the Halloween special. That's gonna be the best Halloween special. I promise you guys. Stool farm. Hey, got it. Let's go. So what's it taste like? It tastes like friendship. Like my teeth are disintegrating. Actually bad. Yeah, but thank you for sharing. Well, you too, I guess. Alright. I don't know what to do now. I'm kind of bored. This is crazy, man. I don't know, man. I feel like something sus about to happen. Hey, chat if you're still here. I come do something important. Yeah! Maybe. Me and my dad. Are you guys sure there's another way? If you might get hurt and what if you had to fight? Really? I think I need to go. Never. That's crazy. What are you doing? We've cornered them. That's crazy. You're sick if you wanted to see us punished. I ate the moss. We gone to prison. All right. Squirrel wall. 2 minutes in jail, and you've already resorted to eating moss. Oh no, prison. Oh. Solve it, Susie. I Y'all, we about to get the intro to the best fight ever. This is the best fight ever, bro. Shut up. Yes! Get out of my way. Yes! Yes! Oh, I can't wait for this fight. I can't wait for this fight. This fight hits hard. Bro, I remember I had a fight with my best friend, bro. God dang, bro. Out the way. I'll kill you. Oh my god. Crazy, bro. Oh my gosh. Wait, why aren't you fighting back? You think I care if you just want to lie down and die? You're just making it easy for me. Alright, that's enough. If you want to die so much, then die. Susie, you missed. I don't want to kill you, man. Just move, please. When you land my fight, we'll kill each other. At least if you stay here until you get hurt. Then I won't kill him. Promise. Me and him will just talk it out, peaceful style. You know. I don't think my dad would like that. Hey, Lancer, come on. We're a team, right? Nothing can stop us, fighting or not. Susie. Yeah. Are we still friends? Huh? Of course. I mean, if you want to be. Could you see ya? W-Mans! Do you see this? Jeff! Do you see this character development? Do you see this character? Do you see this character development that is going on right now? This is why I like Susie. Because she starts from an angsty, raggedy, behind teenager to a good guy. Crazy, crazy! Let's continue. How am I gonna get past his dad like that? Come on, I'll figure something out. So that's why, okay, Chris? Hey, Susie, you came to save us. I knew you had the heart of a hero. Yeah, don't push your luck. Alright, this lift should take us out of here. Alright, so there is something that we have to do before we flippin' you know, go get the cake. There's something I have to do too. I'll be back. There's a little something that I have to do. Before eating the crap out of the cake. Get comfy. And get ready for a lot of screaming as well. Bound to happen. I'm gonna record this part. Alright, I'm recording. I can do this, bro. Let's go. You know, I'm starting to realize it'll be easier for us to get out of here if we get along a little bit more. Just next time you fight an enemy, tell me what to do. I'll listen to you. But you know, don't tell me anything stupid. I'll go back to smashing heads, alright? This is where my intro comes from. That's where my intro comes from. Let's go! Yeah! Yeah! Wait, how much? Oh yeah, we already lost. Let's go. Okay, I have everything. Right? Do I have everything? I don't even think I needed that. So, weapons. Okay, what does the guide say? Nope, not in first grade anymore. Alright, let's go. Now we need to go to the bake sale. We gotta go up here. Okay. We going to Devil! Hey! We going to Devil! Yeah! We going to Devil! Yeah! Hey, chat, if you're still here. I ain't got time for 11. Let's go. Let's go! I don't even think I need the sandwich. I need this as the YouTube thumbnail. Actually, I need to clear chat for a bit. Okay, hold on. There we go. Alright, let's go! We got to do it! Let's go! 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 Let's beat this! Let's beat Jevil! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! First try! I'm locked in!
I can do anything.
I'm locked in! I'm locked in! I'm locked in! I'm locked in! Hold on, I'm locked in! Hold on, I'm locked in! That's 4!
Anything.
Oh shoot. Oh! I'm locked in! Hold on, I'm locked in! Hold on, I'm locked in, I'm locked in, I'm locked in, I'm locked in, I'm locked in. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. I'm locked in. I am locked in! Hold on, I'm locked in. Hold on, I'm locked in. Hold on, hold on. Hold on!
I can do anything.
Come on. Sorry. I'm locked in. I'm locked in, bro. Oh shoot. Ah! Oh my god! Oh my god! Okay, we're locked in! in. We're locked 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 in. Hold on. We're locked in. We're locked in. We're locked in. Okay. We're locked in. We're locked in! Come on, we locked in. We locked in. We doing it! We locked in! First try! Come on, please! Please. How many dark versions? We only have 3 left. Susie, you take one and then just defend. Come on. Rosie! Survive! Oh my god! Oh my god! Okay. We need to use the top cake. Oh! Come on. First try, Devil. Come on. Come on. First try. Ah! Oh my god. Woo! We doing it! Wait. Yes! First try! Oh! First try! Ain't no way! Dang! First try! Oh my god! First try! Let's freaking go! Oh! Nah. Oh! Oh my god. Bro. Oh my god. Ah! First try! Let's freaking go! Oh my god. Let's freaking go! Wow! Woo! Let's freaking go! Woo! Woo! We did that! We did that! Let's go! Woo! Let's freaking go! Oh my god! We did that! We need to put No. Take off the auto run. Nah. Yo, we did that. Let's freaking go. Woo! I was locked in. Oh my saved so much time. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh. Let's freaking go. Hey, yo. You were here, bruh. You were here, bruh. You were here, bruh. We did this. Yo, there ain't no way, bro. Bruh, I need a breather. 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 Let's freaking go. I flipping did that, bro. I flipping did that, bro. I did that. I did that. I did that. I did that. Uh-huh. I'm a flipping. Oh. Dude, how? Oh my gosh. Let's freaking go, bro. Let's freaking go. Oh. Ha. Yeah. Woo. Woo. Y'all don't know. Huh, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you how I was. I'm gonna show you how I was when I first beat it. I'm gonna show you how I was when I first beat it. Huh, I'm gonna show y'all. That is crazy. Oh, we did that. Yeah, we did that. We did that. Hold on, is that the Streets of Rage full series? It should be over, cause.
Soft reset again? Yeah. And then I'll...
Where is he on now? Oh, he's on 3.
Wow. That's fine.
Oh, I'm gonna see if they ever play the skate. Oh no, they play the same characters the whole way through. Oh yeah, they stuck with it.
I want to fight. I got to fight. Stay normal, but...
I'm gonna show y'all. I'm sure gonna show y'all. I'm sure gonna show y'all. But first, I wanna show y'all. I wanna say thank you so much for 2.4K views on this. I'm been. I'm gonna flipping show y'all the original thing. Because that was the best thing ever. Hands down. I'm gonna show y'all. I'm gonna show y'all. F11. Yeah, I'm gonna show y'all. Here. Where is that stream, fella? These were the last 2 streams I did, bro. I did it! Yes, I do stream a lot.
Metamorphosis. Chaos metamorphosis.
Look at this, bro. I did it! I did it! I did it! Come on! Please! 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 Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Brother, we went. Brother, we went from taking all that time to now beating it on the first try. You see, oh man, I miss my YouTube chat, man. It's not the same without them, bro. That was fun too. And I think during the second stream, no, like the chapter 2, we played Fortnite afterwards. It was pretty fun. Man, I miss my YouTube chat, man. Why you gotta be doing this to me, YouTube? I thought we were friends. I'll still keep posting, but gotta be nicer. Oh. So the worms have decided to crawl out and play. I saw something here. I can't get it. Oh wow. So come here often. Dang, we just showed all of them. That's crazy. Man. I think he's like the worst character. I mean, he's not the worst, he's just the dumbest. This the best. This is one of the good songs. Hey! Hey! Let's continue. Best song in the game, hands down. I bet you those worms represent the 4 people who hate the most. Me? No, not me. Chris, Susie, Lancer, and Rousey. Literally the best game on the planet. What? How much time we got? Ah, we were at just the cutoff. Man. Let's see if I can do better than my actual personal time. W, man. No, it looks like it's a team gonna help it. Oh, that was easy. I think he gave us bad luck.
Bombastic side eye. Criminal offensive side eye. Do you understand?
Hey. Light change and everything. We about to beat the game. Light work. It's done.
Bombastic.
We did it, bro. It's over. Father! We did it, bro. We did it, bro. We flipping did it, bro. Nah. Father! Lancer, my son, have you dispatched the lightners as I commanded? No. No, but... You know what he did, though! I gotta do it. I'm sorry. I gotta do it.
I just bit right on the highway. I know he dying.
6-7. I'm actually gonna end stream. I'm gonna end stream. Yep, it's over. I'm sorry guys, but like, stream's over. Stream's over. Nah, I'm just kidding. We're gonna beat this and then stream's over. Actually, you know what? If y'all want to, I'll let y'all see something I'm working. I'll let y'all see something I'm working on in Microsoft Paint. Let him go!
Go!
Oh! Wrong one. Sorry, my bad. Wrong one. Let me get the flip. Oh no. I like King. King's theme is good, but we gotta lock in. Who the hell do you think you are? To my people, I'm a hero. To you, I'm the bad guy. Oh, this is stereo. Let's go. We already won. Crazy. 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 Plus didn't ask. You know, I'm not even gonna heal. That's how confident I am in this battle. Oh. Oh, Chris might die. Uh-oh. Yep, Chris is dead. Dang it. Let's go. He's lying. He's lying, bro. Ah! I told you he was lying. Oh, go ahead, Chris. Ah! Okay, get away from my friend. Nah. Nah. Nah, but they might. Yo, get out. Yo. Let's freaking go. We beat Deltarune. We beat Deltarune. We beat Deltarune. We beat it. Chapter 1. Yep, we did it. Yeah, man. Let's freaking go. Let's go. Play it. I just wanted to say, I really enjoy beating you too. And, hey, can you stop mumbling into your hat for a second? I can barely hear you, dude. Oh, sorry. Whoa! Chris, Susie, I hope I can see you again soon. Next time, I'll make lots of yummy cakes. I feel like some cake right now. Dang. Let's go, Chris. Well, this has been fun. I mean, what now? Something really important, didn't we? Yeah! We did that? Yeah! Yeah, we did that! The unused classroom. Well, guess we should go. See you later, I guess. Chris? You see how Susie changed the entire time? You see, nah, this is good. This is good. This is a good character arc. Good. Susie has like the best character arc. Let's go. Beating this dumb game again for the second time. I mean, not the second, probably like the 5th or 6th. Dude, wait. Dude. I beat that. No, man, I'm going to bed. It's over! It's over! Whoa. God! He's a killer. He's a killer. And that, my friends, is the end of Deltarune. I did it once again, man. I cannot believe I streamed this game again because, like, dang, man.
There's a light inside your soul that's still shining in the cold with the truth, the promise in our hearts. Don't forget, I'm with you in the dark.
Crazy. Yeah, we did that. Man, I forgot to stop recording too. That's it. This is next. Let's see if we can beat Delta, if we can beat YouTube chat, because Twitch, y'all did worse than me. So, thank you for watching this video, man. It was not video, this stream, man. Thank you for watching this stream, man. I really appreciate it. If y'all don't mind, like, subscribe to the Twitch channel. Not subscribe to the Twitch channel on YouTube, but also subscribe to my YouTube channel. do that. Yeah, I'll get Deltarune Chapter 2, 3, and 4 this exact week. But other than that, it has been a good time and a pleasure being with you guys. Thank you guys for watching, I appreciate it. And as always, I'm a bit busy. So, I guess I'll see you later. Somewhere. Again, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. And, I will see you later. Peace out.